I'm here at Michael's Genuine with Michael Schwartz himself. I'm Amanda Fraga, Beverage Director for the Genuine Hospitality Group, and you are?
I'm Michael Schwartz, founder and chef of the Genuine Hospitality Group.
And we're going to be talking about some of Michael's favorite wines that we have on the wine list here. So we are tasting Louis Michel Premier Cru Chablis from France, particularly the Burgundy region. This is chef's, I would say, one of favorite regions. When I started working here was Michael Schwartz Chablis.
My preference tends to be more on the crisp, acidic side, would you say?
Yes, definitely. So very bright. This particular, when you get to Premier Cru, and this is 18 vintage, has a little bit of fruit to it, so there's just a hint of tropical fruit, but you still get this like long finish of that salinity, great for oysters or any sort of like, even grouper ceviche, which is very bright and acid. This can kind of match that.
Yeah, and my preference on the food side tends to be lighter, brighter, acidic foods as well. So what about acid on acid?
Your wine has to have more acid than your food. So that's why Chablis is great, because it is one of the higher acid wines. So it'll pair with those higher acid dishes.
I know this wine very well. It's like the go-to Chablis for me. So what's going on with this one, Fraga?
All right, so this is a skin-fermented Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. And chef, I would say like, you're really loving the orange wines, and for good reason. You know, I think, not to speak for you, but I guess I will.
Yeah.
I think there is like a little bit of that like tannin that sometimes you want when you're having food.
Right.
So you get the acid of the white wine, but you get a little bit more like body and texture and tannin, so it doesn't just kind of like fall flat when you're eating food.
And then this, New World.
New World, no sulfur added actually, unfined, unfiltered.
Right.
Skin fermented, so that means that, you know, when it's like kind of the way you would be making a rosé or a red, where you leave the skins on with the juice, so it extracts a little bit of color from the skins, aka why they call it orange wine.
So this is freaking delicious.
Yeah.
Right? But why do I like this so much?
I think you love this because you're having a pretty ripe fruit, right? Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. You have some of that tannin texture, very long finish. A lot of that can come from winemaker style as well. When you're making a natural wine, you have to be very clean. You know, one thing just to note too, when you're talking about orange wine, there are no oranges in this wine. It's just good to know.
No oranges.
Some people ask, like, it's an orange wine. There were no oranges in this wine. This is 100%.
Yeah, and you can see it's not really
grapes.
orange, but it does have that orange hue.
Tinge.
That's the name. Great. Spectacular. So what is this?
So we are drinking Commando G is the name of the producer, and this is La Bruja de Rosas, and we are in Madrid. It's like super crunchy, juicy, red berry.
Crunchy and juicy, but this you would say is a lighter style, lighter bodied.
It's a lighter bodied, especially for when people think about Grenache or Garnacha. They sometimes, this color is just so light, ruby. They sometimes think about something a lot fuller bodied. This is really elegant. It had a nice long maceration, but you don't even see that in the color, and it's indigenous yeast fermentation.
This is friggin' delicious, and it's true. Like when you think of Grenache or Garnacha, for me, I always thought that it was a heavier or medium to heavy sort of bodied, bigger fruit. But this is for me the perfect red. And I very rarely like big, flabby, juicy. But this has great tannins.
It does, and it's right here. It's in the back of your cheeks, and there's just like a hint of that bitterness. But to me, like the fruit is just crunchy. That's kind of what I call it. It's just this crunchy mixed bag of red fruit. Delicious.
Well, Fraga, I'd say you're 3 for 3, and I'll take a case of each. So to wrap it up, let me understand this right. These wines are available on the wine list currently at Michael's Genuine Food and Drink.
Yeah.
As is a pretty broad selection of wines. Mm-hmm. And on Mondays, every Monday, all day, lunch, dinner, the whole wine list is 50% off. So, if you come to the restaurant, you might not get to sit next to the wine director, and have a personal one-on-one, sort of dialogue. But I would come, try one of these wines or your favorite wine, your wine style, the one that you prefer, and 50% off. What?
No brainer.
Get after it.